Good morning and welcome to our study time together. Our sages say that where your thoughts are, that's where you are. This becomes most relevant. Last night it hurt me, but I had to text a dear friend and said, please don't share any more bad news with me. Don't share negative energy with me. There is, of course, a lot of terrible things going around, but if we put our thoughts in that, that's where we are, and we are we could be, if we do that, in a very negative place. Chas v'shalom. One of the stories about the Rebbe that first I had hard time believing, and then I understood how great is. Many years ago, somebody passed away. His family was about to board a cruise ship, talking about before the time of the telephones, cell phones, and somebody thought it would be the hero, and he ran to the cruise terminal and was able to let them know before they boarded the ship, before they were able to leave on this trip, that their relative died and they had to sit Shiva, etc. And he was very proud of his accomplishment. When the Rebbe heard and found out, he said, no, it would have been so bad if they enjoy themselves for 2 weeks and then they found out that then they sit Shiva. It's very, very profound story. We like to share with other people, and there is a saying, Tzarat Rabim Chatzi Nechama. Tzara, a burden, suffering of many is half a constellation. Right now, we are in a unique time because for the first time, at least in a long, long time, the whole world is united to fight a common enemy. So we already have that tzara, that suffering that is joined by the whole world. What we need to do now is to find the strength, the positivity, the energy to fight that. And the only way you can do it is through have good thoughts, positive thoughts, Torah thoughts, godly thoughts. And that's what Hashem wants. Just like the Rebbe said, don't rush to share bad news. Share the good news, the inspirational stories. Advar Torah, something we learn from the parasha. There is so much goodness in the world. I got a nice video of a child that explains that how do you get good at something?
United States +1.
Sorry about that. You get good at something by practicing. When you practice something, you get good at it. If, God forbid, somebody gets to a lot of practice in worrying, it will be very good at worrying. If someone gets a lot of practice at criticizing, he will find fault where normal people will see no fault, because that's the way his mind is trained to look for faults, for what to criticize. If somebody's used to finding good and looking at people and say, what can I praise about this person? From the whole time I spent doing my master's degree in organizational development, university, I think the best lesson I got from one of my teachers says, if you want to be good, effective in your organization, you have to catch people doing good. Most people, most bosses are trying to find people doing bad and say, hey, you have to fix this. So what happens? When somebody sees them approaching, he's like, he's going to criticize me. He's going to have something negative to say. So people will avoid you like the plague. But if the other way around, you're always praising people and saying, oh, thank you for this is done so well. So when you catch people doing good, first of all, you create positive energy in your workplace, and people will like you and would like to listen to you. And if every once in a while there is something that needs improving, they'll listen to you. And he said you have to have a ratio of 10 to 1, 10 praises to 1 criticism. And this works in the work. It's in the workplace, it's at home, it's with your friends, in your community, everywhere. Somebody sent me an email about something that I perhaps did wrong, but I started looking at all our emails and our interactions, and I realized that this person only criticized me the whole time. Do I need credit? Yes, of course. If I do wrong, please let me know. Feel free, send an email, a text, call me, tell me, Rabbi, you're wrong. Mendel, this is not right. I love when people feel close to me and they do that. But on the other hand, if that's the extent of our relationship, makes things difficult. If I do something right every once in a while, feel free also to compensate, to balance. So on the other hand, if you train yourself to worry, you'll get excellent at it. If you get used to criticizing, finding fault, you'll do it all the time. On the other hand, if you get used to finding people doing right, if you get used to finding the positive in everything, my father was amazing at that. He was a Kabbalist, and he was also great at interpreting dreams, because as we know, the Talmud says dreams go after the interpretation. And I was witness many times, people will bring the most horrible dreams, some things that I say, Gewalt. And you say, oh, this is so good. And this means, and he had a logical explanation why that Sinbad was really great. And I asked him once, how do you do it? It's just, you have to train yourself. If you train yourself, train your mind to look for the positive, to look for what's good, you'll get used to it. It's like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. So during these challenging times, I want to invite everybody to train yourself to be positive. Share good messages, share Dvar Torah, share good news from Israel. I will write on our newsletter, and I invite you to subscribe to it at our website, chabadcb.com. We'll go out in a couple hours. Something the Rebbe always said that most people have a hard time believing. It says Israel is the safest place in the world. And he said that during wars, during challenging times. And, people said, oh, the Rebbe is just trying to make us feel good about traveling to Israel, never cancel a trip, doesn't matter. If the situation, the Rebbe took responsibility for many, many thousands of people and said, go to Israel or stay in Israel, you'll be fine. One of them was my father-in-law during the 6-Day War. And of course, every time that the Rebbe says things will be good, we're good. But now it's on the headlines everywhere. Israel is the safest place in the world. So the world is understanding, and we're coming to Mashiach times. So there's no other way to explain. May we train ourselves to think good, to be always in the positive, share that energy, look for ways to make people smile, to make people laugh. Everywhere you go, in any interaction that you have, be positive, be happy. And just like in the sad times when the Jewish people cried, when the spies came from Israel and gave a bad report, and God says, oh, you're crying for no reason, because the Jewish people started crying, believing what the spies said. I will give you reasons to cry on this day, and that day is Tisha B'Av, the saddest day of the Jewish calendar. So now we have to learn from history and do the opposite. We have to be happy with no reason, perhaps. You can find no reason to be. Don't worry. As I said on my Kabbalah of happiness, fake it till you make it. Even if you don't really feel happy, say, I'm happy. And smile and sing and dance. And even if you have no reason for it, God will give you reason, will make us happy, God willing, with the ultimate happiness. As the Rebbe said, we are the generation of Mashiach. May we see it with our eyes. May we dance and rejoice in Jerusalem as we build the Beth Amikdash very soon. Amen. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you so much for joining. Next class, God willing, will be Saturday night at 8:30. Love you all.